Red Broad. It's okay. Hit that like button. Supers go to the top. Let's bring him on now. We're going to go in and out with him. He is also going to make sure he navigates some of you Houston odds at the top of the hour. He is our boy, Big Z, Zander Krause.
What's up, Big Sills?
How you doing, Xander? Just for a PSA, a public service announcement. First thing Xander said to me this morning was, "Hey, numbnuts, we're supposed to do this yesterday, not today."
No, tomorrow, I said, right?
Yeah, tomorrow, man.
I thought it was Friday. That's what I thought. I thought it was going to be Friday, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
was promoting it, man. So here we go.
You delayed it long enough. I mean, you delayed it long enough.
So. Oh, you and Sue, right?
By the way, I might have to clip that little sentence you just said before I came on. I don't know if I've ever heard you say that.
What's that?
You remember what it was?
That it wasn't a great year.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
But in a way,
it wasn't a great year. It wasn't a great year, Sills. It's okay to admit it.
Wait. But in the end, I'm glad they proved me wrong.
You know, with all love, okay, with all love. Easily your worst year in 4 years of predictions. In terms of predictions, not in terms of content and show and that.
Yeah.
But you were off the mark.
Dude, Barkley sucked. Let's see here.
I'll let the people pile on.
I'll always be right on the 4K, but that turned out not to be a factor. Hey, real quick, I heard you in a conversation with so the Kevin Patullo thing. Let me ask you one last time on this.
Yeah, you're good.
You don't, no concerns at all with that. I mean, listen, I'm good. Or how about this one? Let me phrase it different. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt because you know why? Their track record is too many head coaches have been hired in the last 4 years versus one shit year where a guy was blown out. So I'm going to give them the benefit. There's too many guys who got jobs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, to say I have zero concern, I think would be a reach. And I think it would be, if you say that, you're probably living in a little bit of eagle land, which is fine. I mean, you're coming off a Super Bowl championship. I get it. But to say you have zero concern, I think is unfair. But where I feel good is that, I do think Jalen's going to have more say in this thing moving forward. And I think that's going to be your stability, Sills. You talk about stability all the time, and it doesn't appear it's going to happen. All right, 5 years you've been here. We've had instability every year, whether we win or we lose, and that seems to be inevitable. So I think Jalen's going to take it into his own hands a little bit more. And I think actually Patullo is a sign that they're going to do that, right? He has been here for 4 years. So he was here with Shane. He was here with Brian. Andy was here with Kellen. He saw 2 Super Bowl appearances. He saw the collapse. So I think they're going to have a better understanding than people think. But where I have concern is I think there's an intra-game knack for play calling and feeling the moment and stuff like that I think he's going to have to prove. But, the way I reason with that is that I think Jalen's going to – those are the moments I think Jalen will take it in his own hands, where he's going to have to survey the line of scrimmage and the defense and what they're running and the coverages that they're in and all sorts of those things. And he's done a lot better job at it this year, certainly got a lot better at it late in the year. So I think you're going to be good from that front. And, yeah, I think they've earned the benefit of the doubt for sure.
The only thing that I'll say with Jalen is how much are you going to improve as a starting quarterback under that same offensive system you had a year ago?
Right.
I mean, do you think he grew last year as a quarterback? Or
I think he grew as a player. I do.
As a player, but again, when I look at, remember, like you said, I said it from day one, that guy has not improved the passing game. Now, it's not a factor today. On February 20th,
right.
Zander, you're the world champs. It's not a factor. But the evolution of the offense has to continue to – Brady said it every year he was in New England. He had to evolve the offense because people were going to start becoming predictable on what we were going to do. Remember, I don't think you have to evolve offenses every year to the point where you're changing the entire landscape of everything. I just think you have to keep bringing the unpredictability of your offense year in and year out. I'll tell you why I think you had great success this year. nobody in a million years ever thought the Eagles were just going to dump going to AJ and Devontae and not throw the ball. And all of a sudden they ran it with Barkley. It changed up exactly everything they did a year ago. You made a comment yesterday that's right on. Jalen Hurts has never been a consistent player 2 years in a row. It's been 4 different Jalen Hurtses.
Right.
Okay? There's been growth of a rookie. You can't ever you ever noticed 21 year? I never take a shit on it because
that was more impressive year than he gets credit for.
Yeah, because he grew into a starter.
He grew and the team wasn't so damn good around. I mean, he was throwing the ball to Queasy.
They were still saying in the offseason, remember they had 2 first-rounders. Then all of a sudden 22 came, that went away. They traded one of those for AJ and the whole thing changed.
Right.
I mean, 22 changed the whole mentality of the way they saw him. I tell you, going into 22, they didn't know if he was the guy. Nobody did.
Dude, let's not play revisionist history here. Okay. They wanted Deshaun Watson.
And Russell Wilson had a 3-year deal.
They wanted Deshaun Watson to the point of they were close to what the Browns gave up. Think about that. Think about what the Browns gave up. And then think about the Eagles being close. The only thing that really stopped it was Deshaun is friends with Jalen and said, I'm not going to take his position in Philly. So, I love the people who play revisionist history and act like everybody was sold except for the haters like Sileo and the people he put on CNN and all, whatever that clip was. There's a lot of revision with Jalen Hurts. And I get it. I was a part of it as well at some point. But no, I mean, he's been way different, and I think that's going to be. I think that's a positive. I mean, I think that's a good thing moving forward. That it's going to be in Jalen's hands. Kind of take control of this thing, and I see Charlie Swift in the comments, and I don't disagree with Charlie Swift. All right, I'm a businessman, so I understand it. Like Charlie's like, we have a $200 million offense, and you're giving me a fucking beginner. I mean, that doesn't compute in the head, right? You're going to start a Fortune 500 company and raise $100 million and hire a rookie to be a CEO? No, you're not going to do that. No. So I get where Charlie's coming from, but
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. No, Charlie's not wrong. But, where I think Charlie has a chance to be wrong in the future in terms of it working out better than he's given credit for. And he's not saying it's not going to work out. I think he's just analyzing the situation. And I certainly see both sides of it. What I do think is a little overblown, and perhaps, John convinced me on this, is I don't know if the play calling thing matters as much when you have a quarterback that is going to start to take more control at the line of scrimmage. Like, did you ever worry about the play caller with Peyton Manning or Tom Brady? And I'm not saying Jalen's at that level. I'm just saying if the goal is for him to acclimate to that point, then he's going to have to get better at it too. And I think that's what happened a little bit last year as well.
Here's my problem with Jalen, though. Jalen's still an infant in playing the quarterback position. He just learned last year how to set protections. I mean, we're not talking about a seasoned dude here.
Yeah, right. I got you.
We're talking and then you bring in a guy again who's never had a play. Why did they ask Jeff Stoutland to be the offensive coordinator?
I don't think they see him as that, and I don't think the whole league sees him as that.
So you see a guy in your building who's never called plays as the guy, but you don't see Stoutland.
Yeah, but
the head run coordinator with a 2,000-yard back last year. You don't see that guy as the play caller?
Well, I think there's some nuance to it. I mean, does Jeff Stoutland want to be an offensive coordinator? Has he ever, aligned his career to try and become an offensive coordinator? It doesn't really seem like it for me because I feel like he's been so successful. If that was what he wanted, he could have got it. You know how it works, Sills.
You think he could? You think they approached him at all and maybe had?
I don't know. My point with I don't know if he wants it is like he's got an agent. His agent knows how he's talked about in the league around Philly. If he wanted to become an offensive coordinator, he could easily get his agent to plant to Schefter, hey, boost my guy up as he wants to become an offensive coordinator. I don't think he ever wanted to be.
If he wanted to be an offensive coordinator, Jeff Stoutland would be somewhere else.
Maybe. Okay?
Because, dude, of all the guys on that staff, to me, the 2 guys that had the greatest year as coaches were Vic Fangio. The 2 old guys had the best years. And it just seems to me those two guys don't want to go anywhere, do anything. They're pretty happy in their own sandbox.
Yep.
They don't want to do any shit.
There might be a lesson in that, Big Chill.
The lesser guy got the job in New Orleans.
There might be a lesson in what you just said. The older dudes are happy where they are happy where their feet are, and they're maximizing their role in that position. There might be some truth in that.
Amen. Right? Amen.
I got you.
You know why? I tell people this all the time. You know why Barkley doesn't go to ESPN or those other places? Because TNT has his back. He can say whatever he wants on that fucking show. They're not going to ever fire him.
What do you think's about to happen on this segment? I'm really curious. I talked to the great people of JAKIB Nation after games and the post game show. I've done shows where I bring the people on. I know what to expect from the knuckleheads. I don't know if I know what to expect when you open up the Thunderdome on the National Football Show. I'm curious to see how the chat guys handle it. I'm curious to see how Big Sills handles it. Will he allow somebody to trample him? I don't think so. What will happen on this segment?
You better be prepared, and you better not get the sphincter muscle tight, because you're going to – hey, you guys think you're going to run me over? You better have your takes right. You better have it positioned correctly, because you know what I will do? I will roll up my sleeves. I will just dive in.
Yeah, baby.
Even you, Sue. I will go knee deep on
everybody's toast. You hear that? You hear that, everybody? Tony Zay, are you ready? Oh, Anton, you better abide by Sileo's rules, Anton, or else you're going to be axed from the program.
Listen, and let me tell you, if you're a mumbler, you're going to get annihilated. I don't care. You better not have video mumbling.
I don't want any audio only. Anton, Sileo has made a rule that it is his show, my friend. So right now, Anton as a gray will not be in. We got a lot of grays reaching out, Sills. And if without a super chat, without a membership, Sileo is axing it.
Let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing something in my 38 years of broadcasting I've never done. And I'm not just going to do it here that doesn't support. Man. By the way, folks, just so you know, I kind of do get it, but I know way I don't, but I do. Anyway, this supports us, what I'm doing here. The subscriptions, the supers, all of that.
Oh, did you, Anton? My bad. I missed it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. You're right.
Supports it.
I got you.
By the way, too, I don't want to hear any crying after I kick your – hey, let me say this to you. You are the Super Bowl champ. Don't make me the big sis champ.
You're right. Yo, Philly, if you go soft on me, if everybody in this chat goes soft on you,
I'm not going to come in and save you.
I mean, I had to deal with a guy the other day who sent a super chat trying to shred Sileo. Sileo rips him back, and he's crying wolf. I'm like, you shouldn't have entered the Thunderdome, my dude, if you wanted to have a peaceful afternoon. So same thing here. If you're coming into the Thunderdome, you better be able to handle it, because I'm not about to deal with a bunch of dudes crying.
No crying.
Snowflakes.
Dude, let me tell you something. Big Sills and the show here in JAKIB, there's no crying in JAKIB Sports.
No snowflakes.
Even you, so. All right. Let me do this here. Oh, what's that? We got Brian. What is this, Brian? What do we got going here?
Brian,
Sills is the
thunderstorm helmet behind your high school.
That's my grandfather's fireman's helmet.
No, not that one. The one at the top next to the Miami helmet.
Yeah, that's the Canadian team.
The Canadian team. What's the name of the team, though? I got a couple of those comments.
Thunder. The Thunder.
Oh, the Thunder.
Yeah, the Thunder. Yeah, that's my grandpa's fire helmet.
I guess the logo up there is pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the jerseys were exactly the Seahawks wear them now.
Yo, Brian, what's the matter? You were ripping on my fleece. You don't like my JAKIB Ralph Lauren nice fleece?
I actually love that thing.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Listen, leave it to the chat nerds to try and tell me how to dress, too. I mean, good night. Good night.
Did you beat up John McMullen today?
No, I didn't. We actually had a fun-ass show today talking about Myles Garrett. Yo, are you giving up 2 1s in Nolan? Would you do it?
Dude, well, do you expect to be picking at 32?
No.
All right.
No.
You know, I rethought about what I said too about Nolan, because I brought up 3 days ago about Nolan. The Browns are going to want that, but I don't know him. I don't know him, dude. I think they would want Becton more.
So you want to trade back? Well, I mean, listen.
Trying to trade.
Offensive line makes sense, but I don't know. I'm not going Nolan. And John's like, you're crazy. I mean, you're talking about Myles Garrett here. I mean,
he's right.
I know he's right, but I think there is something to being disciplined in this approach when you're talking about creating a dynasty. I mean, you know, I get it. It's a great name, and I'm not saying we wouldn't be great, all right, with Myles Garrett. In fact, did you hear AJ Brown today?
No, wait a minute. Nolan Smith in a conversation here on February 20th in a deal for potentially Myles Garrett is a place I never thought I would be talking about putting that kid in a conversation. So it's kudos to him. You know what that does too? It raises his market value back up to being where if you're talking with Cleveland about sending an asset like that to Cleveland with some ones, bro, you now have saved. Last year, Nolan Smith was not the 30th pick. He was a third rounder at best. Now he is underdrafted.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he's a 15 guy now, somewhere in there.
5 sacks in the playoffs.
Okay?
Yeah, he's playing lights out. I wouldn't give up Nolan, but I get it. I get, you know, did you hear AJ Brown today?
No.
I think that came out after your show started. I was just looking around. He was on like there's that guy, you know, that guy Destroying, his name is like DEE. Yeah. So he has a podcast now, and he had AJ Brown on. It was really good. I didn't have a chance to hear the whole thing yet because I've been obviously working and producing and stuff. But, you know, they asked him who's one guy you'd want to come to Philly this offseason, and he immediately said Myles Garrett. Now, here's the thing. He said, all I think about is Nolan Smith, Jalen Carter, and Myles Garrett on that D line. Nobody would stop him. So I don't think, you know, he was saying with Nolan Smith. He wasn't saying get rid of Nolan Smith, obviously. Now AJ's not going to be.
Well, then the next guy up would be Cooper DeJean.
Oh,
one of your boys, dude.
Nah, dude, stop. That's a Sileo thing.
Wait, no. What do you think they're going to ask for?
Dude, here's the thing. Jeffrey Lurie loves Cooper DeJean. That was a Jeffrey Lurie pick.
Okay, I'm just saying. They're going to want some. Do you think they're going to go 2-1 to Tyler Steen? That's not happening.
Ed Kratz today. We had Ed Kratz. I love Ed Kratz. He's one of my favorite guests we have on Birds. All right. He pulled the U today. We were talking about this with Nolan, and he said, let me throw out another name. Guess what he said?
Who?
He said AJ.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And John goes, you guys are fucking nuts. You don't want to trade Nolan Smith, but you'll trade a Hall of Fame wide receiver. I was cracking up. It was a hilarious show.
Well, if you're going to stick to the offense that you have,
that's what.
And what I would do is, if you're going to stick to the offense you have, and you see T. Higgins out there, I'd get T. Higgins for $25 million, bring him in, put him on the other side there, have him as a decoy too. If I'm going to run the ball with Kevin Patullo the way I think they're going to run the ball, and you could get me, and that lands me Myles Garrett on the other side. Yeah. Hey, remember something.
That's crazy.
We're talking the best of the best. Myles Garrett's the best player on the Eagles if he were on the Eagles. That clues Lane.
That Myles Garrett's the best player in football.
Yes.
I don't think there's a guy better in the world at football.
So when we're talking about that, we're not doing this. Hey, you know that guy Trey Hendrickson? I'd trade him for AJ. That's not where I'm at.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
Okay, I'm happy we agree on that.
Even Max Crosby, I'm not.
I do think I'm with you. I do think that context is worth getting out there. Like, Myles Garrett is that good. This is not Matt Crosby's great. Hendrickson's great. Micah Parsons are all awesome. All right, all great.
I'm not trading AJ for him.
Myles Garrett is a different beast, but I don't know. I feel pretty good because I'm, I look at where we're at and I'm like, we just want
to. Now, you're right from yesterday. You went, Sills, do you want to really rip the script up? Or do you want to play the script to see how this thing evolves and evaluates and evolves into what they do next? Can you imagine another year with Vic?
How about this?
With these young players? Okay. I mean,
what about 3 months here?
I'm not giving 3-1s up. That's too much of my future.
Yeah, but Sills, if you listen, hear me out on this. And this is where I think Brandon might be onto something. And obviously a lot of things have to go your way, but if you get Myles Garrett added to this defense, okay, to replace Josh Sweat, and you have Josh, you have Jordan Davis, you have Jalen Carter, and you have Nolan Smith as on that defense. Remember, all of your secondaries under contract. Let's assume for a second to get Zach Bond back. We're going to have the 32nd pick next year too, and the year after that maybe, or 28 to 32. So you're looking at 3 end of the first round picks where, let's be real here. If you win multiple Super Bowls in the next 5 years, okay, that's something that people talk about 50 years from now.
31, 3 ones, man. You said something yesterday.
I don't know.
No, 2 days ago.
It's a lot, but
let me tell you what you said, and I think you ran over it and didn't know what you said, and you're dead on with it.
I do that a lot.
Let me tell you that, yeah, because you know what? Stay on some of these, man, because this is great. Last year was the first time the 49ers had to deal with the massive disaster of Trey Lance, of not having multiple players at multiple positions,
right,
where if somebody failed, Howie Roseman had so much runway last year off of Bryce Huff because of him bombing,
right,
that Nolan Smith and Jalen Hunt stepped in and played. It saved his ass. That's the runway he had. Well,
right.
3 ones, dude. Sorry, you're not getting around that. If somebody blows up, you have a Trent Williams hurt. You have a Deebo Samuel hurt. You have a Brandon Ayuk hurt. And you don't have replacements off them ones, you're going to feel the impact. 49ers last year felt the impact of that big time off of that Trey Lance.
Yeah, and the thing with the 3 ones that I don't get, and believe me, it's too rich for me. I'm not going to do it. I wouldn't do it, but I just wanted to entertain it. Here's what I don't get. Like, why would people say yes to 2 ones and a great player? Talking about Cooper DeJean, that's a first round value.
Because that player looks like, and it's being evaluated, he's a sure thing. Picks aren't sure things. Dude,
that's what I'm saying to the people, though. Why would they be
gamble on the ones
in a player versus 3 ones? I mean,
bro, the gamble, though, on the picks is like a stock market. You don't know if that stock's going to go up or down when you draft them. They could be Andre Dillard or Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
You have no idea if that
could
be.
Look, I ended the segment this morning with I'm out. Because I think it's too rich with where we are. I feel too good about the team. I don't want to mortgage up.
I think
it's just, I think you're in a position of power in terms of you have everything and you're this good. And you're going to sacrifice a lot of those future building blocks that will set this team up, forget for 3 years, but you're talking about 5+ years. I mean, if you draft well the next 3 years, I think you sacrifice that. I think you make that window a lot shorter. And for that reason, I'd have to bow out. But, I hear A.J. Brown, who is, as John mentioned, a Hall of Fame level wide receiver, one of the best players on our football team, arguably the best player on our football team. And he goes, yeah, I want Myles Garrett. It's hard for me to sit here and say, I don't want Myles Garrett.
There's very few dudes on that Eagle team I wouldn't trade for him. I'd have a tough time getting off of Mulata. I'd have a tough time getting off of Hurts.
Would you go Smitty?
What?
Would you go Smitty? Keep AJ?
For Myles?
And 2 ones or whatever.
Yeah. 2 ones. Yeah.
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 I probably wouldn't.
Smitty, here. Smitty, Jordan Davis. Man, I'm not touching any of them O-line guys.
No,
I'm just not getting.
Kyle says Landon Dickerson. No way.
No way.
No way. I'm with LJ or with not LJ, whatever his name is here. Jay Ruiz. I understand both sides. It sucks. I agree. It's tough situation. But we'll see. Howie will make the right move is what I feel good about.
Before I'm going to take a timeout at the top of the hour here.
Yeah, am I getting off now? And you're going to get these?
No, not yet, because I got a question for you.
All right.
Tonight, 4 nations, Team USA versus Canada.
I'm pumped
tonight, baby. Hey, you see what I posted on my X? I posted that Herb Brooks.
Yeah, I tweeted it out today.
I posted that thing when he got in there, man, and he did such a great job acting with Herb Brooks. I've talked to Herb, man. I'm friends with Jim Craig.
I wish we could get Herb on. Yeah,
If I can get Jim Craig on.
I don't know why I've told you repeatedly. You know, I have
I have Mike
camera. I have a plaque on my wall right there of Jim Craig and the Miracle Team. Jim Craig was one of my all-time favorites because I was a goalie as a kid. So Martin Brodeur was my goalie, and Jim Craig. Now Jim Craig obviously was before my time, but I love the movie Miracle so much. People don't understand. When I was a kid, I used to just watch Miracle. I didn't like movies. I liked Miracle. That's it. I used to just watch Miracle all the time. But yeah, I love Jim Craig.
You know who took that picture of me and Bobby Orr? Was Jim Craig. We were watching the Bruins play the Lightning in the Eastern Conference Finals. I got to show. I want before we do this. Hang on, I want to show you this. So I'm sending you this right here, and I just text you it. Okay, you're gonna love this. So pick up the text. And look at that text when you get that thing. Yeah, here.
Tell me his info.
That's Jim. Yeah. That's my boy Jim Craig.
I love it.
You want to get him on?
I definitely want to get him on.
If they win, I'll get him on Friday.
That'd be great. That would be epic.
The man who won helped win the Olympic gold medal in
1980, baby. Let's go.
Absolutely. All right. What I'm going to do, Zander, after you leave, I'm going to do a live read. We'll take a commercial break. And then at the top of the hour here, we'll set this thing up. And I'm trusting. Hey, listen, we're going to have ground rules here.
Yeah, lay them.
3 minutes. And you may get hooked quicker. You have to hit the subscribe button or be a member. And it has to be in a super.
Let me also say one thing.
Yeah.
All right. I love our community. Please, I know a lot of you want to bash Sileo for saying your quarterback sucks and all these things and that they weren't ever going to win. And I get it. And all right, it's a lot of fun. All right, let's please have fun with this. Let's not, if you're going to be disrespectful, if you're going to bring up family, if you're going to bring up all sorts of old bullshit, I'm going to axe you out. I'm going to block you from the channel and I'm going to move on. All right. We don't have to sit here and create an environment that's not fun. The whole point of this show is for awesome, entertaining sports talk. All right. You can shit on them when you're talking Eagles, but if you're going to go family, if you're going to go anything personal, you're out. Okay. You're out. And I'm not going to listen to a fucking story. Okay. You're going to be out and you're going to be blocked. All right. Dan is a representative and a host on JAKIB Media. Okay. I'm going to protect him and his show before any of you knuckleheads. So please, let's have fun. I think it's going to be an awesome segment. I'm really looking forward to it. But please, I want to keep all that BS out. I want it to be a good segment.
Do me a favor, keep it Eagles, and everything will be cool.
Yeah,
100%. Believe me, there's a ton of shit.
Look, here's the thing I love about our audience. I think they'll all understand that very well.
They do. Hey, yeah. Zander, get this. There's a ton of shitty takes I had last year, so you should have plenty of content.
There's plenty of ammo, right, outside of the other stuff. But.
Okay? There's plenty of ammo. All right, Zander, great stuff, brother. I appreciate it. Hey, by the way, I think we need to do more of that conversation because, March 12th is coming around the corner. That was really great stuff on Myles Garrett and also on Zach Bond. We'll do more of that tomorrow. Zander, awesome stuff. I can't wait to see what happens. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. We'll catch you on
guys. I'm looking forward to the segment. Sills, use your private chat, all right? I'll communicate with you there, okay?
You got it. Appreciate it, Zander. Thank you so much. Make sure you give Zander some love here. All right, folks. Don't forget our great friends at BetUS. This football season has been absolutely remarkable, and now you get a chance to still be involved with the YouTube 150. That's right. Our YouTube 150 with our partners at BetUS. It's a signing bonus up to $2K. Second and third are 125%. And if you're into crypto, it's 200% with your signing bonuses up to $2,000. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. Fastest payouts in the business. 24/7 personalized service, 365 days of the year. Live wagering on all major games. Go to betus.com.pa. That's betus.com.pa. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sil sent you.
This is Eric. When he got in.